The Jags lost a seemingly unlosable game yesterday, giving up 19 points to the Texans in the fourth quarter. Here to help us understand what went so wrong is Alessandra Pontbriand, sportscaster at WJXT News for Jags. Good morning, Alessandra.
Yeah, well, I would
Good
say
morning.
good morning if they actually won. No, you're right. How sad was that
It was
loss?
people are really
People
sort of
really they
holding their heads.
should. They should. That was one of the most disappointing losses. Some of the older reporters are saying one of the most disappointing losses in franchise history. I've only been covering the team for 3 years, so definitely the most disappointing loss of Liam Cohen's short tenure, but probably the time that I've covered the team. Yeah, they had a 98% chance of winning that game, and then they lost it,
Yeah,
which is crazy. I think the Jaguars' kryptonite are backup quarterbacks. They just cannot win
because we
against
were once
backup
again facing
quarterbacks.
a backup quarterback. What?
Yeah. Yeah, so Davis Mills came in. That's because CJ Stroud was in concussion protocol, so he didn't pass it. So he was not allowed to play yesterday. So you're thinking, okay, they have an okay offensive line. You have a backup quarterback. You should be able to just have your way with them,
Does
but
that get in their
didn't
heads, do you
happen.
think? I mean, do you think that
I
the
mean, it
Jaguars are
shouldn't.
like, oh, maybe they kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit mentally? Because
Yeah, you would think maybe, but like leading up to it, they were saying like they don't care if it was the backup quarterback. They were saying we're still going to like approach this game the same way if it was CJ Stroud playing. But maybe, they're in the back of your head. But yeah, it was just an awful game at the end. It started so well, but we'll start with the last quarter
yeah.
that everyone wants to talk about, right? Houston was down 3 possessions in the second half. They scored 26 points in the fourth quarter, and it all started right at the 7:36 mark when they had the touchdown pass to get within 29-24 of the Jaguars' lead. That's when I was like,
Mm.
no way the Jaguars are going to blow that. Yeah, it's 5 points, maybe cushion your lead with the field goal. Then they literally couldn't do anything. And then Houston, from their own 7-yard line, they converted 3 times on third down. Jarian Jones was flagged for defensive pass interference, and then Mills was able to scramble for the go-ahead touchdown with 31 seconds left. And you're thinking, okay, you have 31 seconds. You should be able to drive down the field and kick a field goal. I mean, you have Cam Little who can kick from the 50-yard line, so you don't have to go that far. But then Trevor Lawrence was sacked. They got into field goal range. A flag pushed them back, and then Lawrence again was sacked. And then Houston returned that for the touchdown. It was, it was very disappointing. Liam Cohen said after the game, definitely some probably disbelief. You're like, you got a 19-point lead and can't hold on to it. That's really disappointing against an in-division opponent on the road where you're controlling the game for the majority of it. So it was I mean, I think everyone was in disbelief at the end of it because, like I said, at the 7 minute, with only 7 minutes to go, you're thinking, okay, they got within 5 points, but that's only 5 points. And then they were able to, clearly come back. Good for the Texans. I mean, they needed that game to keep
Yeah.
their season alive. The Jaguars still in the playoff race, but at the very end of it, they really needed that win.
We got an email from Paul. He says, hate to say it, but it is time for all of the top talent on the Jags to be traded. They need a chance to win a championship with a contender. Let's wish them well and thank them for trying.
Oh, Paul, don't give up yet. I mean, you've already gone through so many years of misery.
Well, is this a season changing loss, having blown such an enormous lead? Does it affect them beyond just this one game?
I mean, listen, this was rough. Everyone needs to go back and look at the tape, be like, what happened? Because the first half was so good. You were winning by 17 points. I mean, Jarian Jones got the interception, led to the Cam Little field goal. Ventrell Miller forced the fumble on the ensuing kickoff that led to Parker Washington's touchdown. And then he returned that 72-yard punt return for a touchdown. They were out to 17-0 lead like 3 minutes into the second quarter. You're thinking at that point, oh, how do you lose this game? I mean, you're doing so well. And the Texans were doing so bad at the beginning of the game, and then it completely flipped. But you have to look at the defense. I mean, Eric Armstead leads the team with 4.5 sacks. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker combined for 4 sacks. And like Paul's point, those are the top performers on the defense. They need to be performing much better than that. Josh Hines-Allen just needs 1/2 of a sack to beat or to cement himself in the record book or the franchise record books as most sacks in a career for the Jaguars. And you thought he would have had that way early on in the season. So, they definitely need to work on the offensive line. Danielle Hunter, he sacked Trevor Lawrence 4 times. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 games that the offensive line has allowed 5+ sacks. I mean, that can't happen. It really can happen. And so they really need to figure out what's going on, because what you saw from the beginning of the season from the Jaguars when Travis Etienne was running through everyone, you're not seeing that now. And, the Texans were 3-5. You should have been able to beat them. You already beat them once, so why couldn't you do it again? So, yeah, there's a lot that they'll need to figure out. But don't lose hope, Paul. You got this.
Jags are now 5-4. Next game is with the Chargers, and it's at home.
Yeah.
Any changes that you expect to see?
But hopefully Brian Thomas Jr. is back. Brenton Strange should be back. Hunter Long was hurt. That's why he didn't play this last season. So hopefully, or this past game, sorry. So hopefully he may be back to help them out. But yeah, I mean, they need to really take a look. I mean, the Chargers are a good team, and Justin Herbert's a good quarterback. They really need to take a look at what happened with the Texans and try to figure that out.
Alessandra Pontbriand, we'll look forward to hearing from you after that. Thanks for being here today.